Welcome, brother. How are you?
What's up, beautiful people? I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
Happy Thursday to you.
To you as well.
We are back in the Rose Garden on this lovely Thursday. It's kind of gloomy here. My name is Sarita. I am the second half of this wonderful sibling pair that comes into the Rose Garden every week to this is our own personal joy, but hopefully we bring you joy as well. We got a lot to talk about this week. A lot of good, thoughtful discussion. And listen, how was your group chat from last week's conversation? So we weren't, you weren't misbehaving enough. So the group chat was kind of quiet. They felt like it was an exceptional show, and they said, "Ballheaded brother did his job. He was well behaved, and they liked the topic choice. You weren't too misogynistic." I said, "I am winning over here when the group chat doesn't have a lot to say." But they did ask questions about the battle of the sexes and when that was going to happen because they're certainly curious about that and what we can do. So, what's our answer for them? Because I know you've been
Well, we
digging.
gotta set that up. Let's huddle up on that, figure it out, and
Okay.
then we'll make the arrangements. Get back to everybody on that one.
Wait a minute. You and Mr. Producer Extraordinaire ain't figured this out already?
we we ain't been able to put noodle to there yet. We gotta carve out some. Oh yeah, so the producers letting us know. Shout out to Tony
Shout
that
out. If he behaves, we're going to keep shot.
we always on our best behavior. I think you know what? It's the gender that carries the serpent with them that needs to be checked and behave. We gotta keep y'all
Listen, it's the serpent spirit and the control spirit that we got to work on. So each is a terrible spirit. But Tony usually act right. Tony usually be in my corner, but since he's like the omniscient one, the folks can't really hear him. So of the two men in this dynamic, Tony be saving you so much, but sometimes you just you don't you're you one of those sinners that be doing it and then pray for forgiveness.
That way, maybe Tony got to click on the link so we can invite him in. We have him dial on in. See if let him include an opinion on it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we'll see. We'll out. We'll.
Hmm.
I like that Tony is well civilized, and in this discussion, Tony's got some alignment because this week we're talking about our childhood and the being raised in church environment. And you want to know what's interesting is just on this week, I had a conversation with one of my good friends and sorors who was pointing out that some of the meanest people they have ever encountered, and they were having a a issue, a real live issue, was somebody that always talked about church, talked about God, was a super tither, and belonged to church, but their spirit was so harmful, and that it really gave a mismatch for what she believed was supposed to be Christ-like, and this person was of Christ and of faith. But this can cover all of the religious spectrums, because I'm sure there's some nasty people who worship Islam and that pray 5 times a day that can be nasty too. So it was interesting because I share that. I would share that there have been some very mean church encounter, mean people in church, not church itself. Like the building was fine and the message usually is but the people in church have been so uninviting that I can't tell you that I'm running to no church home right now.
I hear you on that. I mean, I think that's the problem for a lot of people is that finding a congregation that they can consider like actual home. And I
Yeah.
mean, we've had all kinds of experiences. I mean, I remember when I was up in Jersey or whatnot, and I went to this. I got a flyer. Somebody put like a flyer of a new church on my car, and me and my roommate at the time we went to the church, and it was like when you see in the movies where someone drags the needle off the record.
Hmm.
When we walked into the door, we opened the two big doors, and church was already in service, and all these people were sitting in the pew, and they all turned around and looked at us. You know what I mean? And they paused for a minute, like even the dude delivering the message paused, and we sat down in the back pew, and then we looked at each other and we was like, I think we the wrong hue for this church. You know what I mean? You know what
You ain't
So
lying.
I
so wait a minute. Were you at one of those churches where all are really not welcome? You know how you go to
mean? Right.
all are welcome here, but all were not really welcome at that church?
Yeah, so we you know, politely got up and found our way to the door, back to the cars and out of there, right? But but no, I think that definitely, you know, there's a lot of misuse and corruption in the church, right? You know, from either the leadership, you know, like a lot of times you hear the pastors or the ministers of the church, they're actually, you know, doing wrong things with the with their membership, and
Mhm.
then misappropriating funds. You know, it's a lot going on. So it does definitely discourage you from, you know, attending it. You
Right.
know,
It
yeah,
does.
because it makes you feel like it's hypocritical and you know, all that stuff. But then there's this thing, you know, I think there's this frame of thought that people are saying that, you know, you going to church not for the socializing aspect of it, which I feel like is also kind of contradictory in and of itself, because the congregation is meant to socialize and mix and mingle under, you know, a centralized focus, right?
Mhm. Right.
So I feel like to taint it, you know, in the way it's been done, like really messes up the true purpose, you know?
Right. Well, and I
Yeah.
to your point, like if we're trying if all these church people, because I've had this discussion with people before, and they are like, well, you don't go to church for the people. Well, if that's the case, then I could just study the word alone. And so I really believe
True
that
that.
church is for the people, and if the people represent the ideology, the community, if they're mean, what how do you think I am making decisions about the very religion that I'm supposed to be following?
Mhm.
And what I'd offered to my friend was, trying to take it from the church, because I try to not make I mean, this person had a lot of guilt. And I think that's something we need to talk about, is because she was raised in church. She was a preacher's kid. So being in church is expected of her. And I would
Mhm.
say we were kind of raised like that too. I mean, first of
Mhm.
all, we were in very, very different circumstances where I don't think there was much for us to do other than church. So I wouldn't say that my grandmother was taking us to church because she wanted to protect our bodies from sin and stuff like that. Because if that was the case, she wouldn't have cussed as much as she did. But I really think that it was her social experience. And that's all we kind of had to do socially, was like a lot of the things in the community were like around the church. But I will say, at a very, very young age, I developed a lot of guilt around church, guilt complexes around church, and what the messages that came out of church. And I'm going to give you a really, really good one that is exposing, and I think a lot of people think about. And it was like, first of all, when we're kids, we're going through a developmental course. So, you're learning feelings, you're learning, everything for the first time, and it's this flood of feelings. And I remember in this, and we were young, like maybe 5 or 6. So this is from like my older perspective. I recognized maybe this message was the wrong message. Anyway, they were reading a book, and in the book, they talked about some Bible book. A man gave a woman a kiss, right? And the young church leaders stopped, right? And was like, but kissing is not allowed for people unless they're married in love, and like all of these other things. Now, as a 5-year-old, I'm looking around, I'm like, I've seen people who aren't married kiss. You see it on TV. You see, like, I see people who aren't married hugging and touching and holding hands. So it became very, very critical, right? And so the first time some little boy came over and like tried to hug me and kiss me as a little, I was like, now I'm going to sin. I'm going to hell. I'm not gonna go to heaven. I'm not gonna go to heaven. I was praying away the touch. when do you see how awkward and stupid that experience really is? But yet that person thought that that was the appropriate message to give 5-year-olds. Like your little 5-year-old friend that's giving you a kiss is not going to take you know, eh, your chances for heaven away. Um,
But don't you think that as human beings, that's what we do? Because let's just say, for everything we do, have you ever seen The Matrix?
yeah, yeah.
All right, so you know how when um, Neo took the pill and they were gonna unplug him from the Matrix, and
Mhm.
they rescued him, and then it was like he was a baby, like he knew nothing, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And they had to program him, like they gave him like program. They had to teach him the truth about what was really
Of the
going
world.
on, right? So like that happens with every single human being on this planet, right?
Mhm.
And it just makes you wonder sometimes, right? You weren't if you weren't like given the instructional DVDs, right, of what you're supposed to be,
Mhm.
how would you be impacted? That's why I like that little skit that Dave Chappelle does where he's like the blind black dude, you know what I mean? But he thinks he's white,
He's
he's
racist.
racist,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. You know, but I found like that to be true. Like that could actually literally happen. Like you could get a baby from India or something, and black people in America could raise that baby, and that baby think he's black. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right? And he'll be having the culture and all that stuff because you are literally what you consume. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But
Mhm.
what happens if you're not taught nothing? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like, but I think like even if you're not taught like a specific tenant, like there's certain little things that could happen. So let's just say, for instance, right? Do you believe, like a human being, right? If
Mhm.
a baby has no instruction,
Mhm.
that they will learn to use the bathroom on their own, or that's something that you
Bathroom or
must be taught, huh?
use the bathroom in like a civilized way, like not just
well,
hang out.
ultimately, you're gonna be using it regardless, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? But do you think that they could learn it? Like, they could figure out, like, okay, a certain type of way that will work for them, civilized or uncivilized. They're gonna find a framework that works, right?
Right, right.
Well, would they ever walk or run
I
without
that
instruction?
I think that's a part of the developmental course.
Yeah, but do you need instruction to be able to develop it, or would you be able to
Or
do it on your own?
I mean, I think the question is what kind of instruction and is it a model? Like, so and do we want church to be that model? And
No,
then
I'm wondering I guess what I'm trying to get
if
at
they
is,
never saw humans, you're asking, would
well,
people
yeah, yeah. So like, say if there ultimately is a higher power, right?
Mhm,
Which I totally do believe that is so, based on everything, right? But I'm just saying that if there is one, without us having to go through a single path, right?
mhm,
Whether that's Christianity, Islam, Hinduism,
mhm,
Buddhism, whatever,
mhm.
will we find it without that happening? Like if there
Well, then
was
I
no
think that
books.
question would be how do people find it when they haven't been in like we were over churched, right?
Mhm.
And now I'm not looking for it, to be quite honest. But I'm not looking for
But
church.
now it's in you
Oh,
because it's already imprinted on you in the developmental course, just like a person plugged into the matrix. It's already in you now.
right,
You know
but
what I mean?
people
But what
aren't
if it
raised.
wasn't? Because like what if the ultimate truth is something that nobody's ever been exposed to, right? And that reality none of us know, so we can't do the thing properly.
Well, I think the producer has said it best in ways that I couldn't think of, which is ignorance may not save you in religion. Because
Mm.
and again, and I think that's a very
Mhm.
valuable kinda see, I'm
Mhm.
telling you, he's like of the men part of this. He saves you, like, group chat, don't be mad at him, he has balance in his life. There is so there the ignorance may not save you in religion, and to can we add to that is that don't you think religion wants to keep you blindly following, wants to keep you very ignorant? Because when you're doing that, you're not testing any of the messages. Um,
Mhm.
When you're
Mhm.
doing that, you're believing. That's how Jim Jones got a whole group of reasonable people to drink some damn Kool-Aid. It was that they weren't questioning. Although I read a book about this, there were people who were trying to bring in help and trying to question. So some of that, how that story was told to us isn't necessarily true. But I guess the point is that level of ignorance and that blind following, I don't think any of us should have anymore. I think we
Mhm.
should question.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's okay not to fight back when you have mean church people. I think when you're encountering mean church people, there is a way to check those mean church people and say, hold your belief center to yourself. Keep your opinionated and judgmental self to yourself. I just don't think we do that well. I think confrontation isn't trained well.
Yeah, I mean but I think everything human beings do is like trained to them. So
Mm.
in a very real sense, it's like the question that Neo asked the Oracle and the Matrix, like, is any of this mine? You know what I'm saying? Is any of this my free will or choice?
Well, what happens
Because
when, to our producer's point, when you ask too many questions and then you get labeled as lost and a non-believer,
yeah, that's
right?
that's true. That's true.
Because
You get
Neo in that
ostracized then.
right, Neo in that
Yeah,
example
yeah.
was basically he was told blindly follow and believe, not to
Hmm.
really question, not don't ask too many questions. Um, and that it's always your choice. But you're right, you do get labeled as a non-believer, and that's the one thing that I think humans can't deal with, or people can't deal with, is we all want to be a part of a group. We all want to be. I watched The Shy again, and the scoundrel came up again. The scoundrel, have you watched it yet?
Nah, I ain't have the opportunity to get into that yet, because
Well,
we got
we
I
talked.
got I got some I got some real life shy stuff happening in my own life, right? I ain't got time to be watching those shows.
Well, what The Shy really is a representation of life. It's like, a lot of decisions, but I'm hoping it's not no real thuggery that's happening in the Shy with Reggie. But Reggie, Reg is, he was the one he's just a treacherous human being. And I told you in the last part where he needed a place to stay, he went over there telling them, spitting them spells and lies to the girl, and said, "Well, I love you, girl." And that's how he got warm off the street. This
Well,
week,
yeah. Mhm,
he
go
was
ahead.
he's estranged from his siblings. His brothers are kind of saying, "You aren't a good person. I
Hmm.
want you to have some distance from me." And he's asking people in the group that are close to the siblings, bring them back to me. So
Hmm.
that shows me how much being labeled lost or non-believer and not community is important to people, even scoundrels. Even scoundrels love
Well,
community.
well, I think one thing is this: like, if for the path that people follow, let's say if it's Christianity, Jesus was one that was breaking away from community, right? Norms, right? So, like, say for instance,
But
you
he
got
had disciples. He was
but
in
he
a
got
community that
he
he
got
created.
questions. But those disciples also was people that broke away, right? They had to lead their own lives and like follow him, right?
Mhm,
But I say all that to say to you though that Jesus lost his life for being outside of the community. But
mm,
we definitely this church hurt stuff is hits close to home for me, because it definitely makes you lose touch with the religion in
mhm,
various ways. But I would say for our own family member, because the one on our father's side that I was first closest to was our cousin Brian.
mhm, mhm,
And our cousin Brian, um got with disfellowship from the Jehovah Witness. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
Which, how does that happen? Give me a breakdown. I don't quite
I'm
understand.
not sure. I don't even know. That part, like, that's a mystery to me of like who
'Cause how do you
decides all
this
that stuff. Like,
from
who,
somebody? Like, the people come together and put their hands together and say, "You no longer can believe in this." Like, tell me what happens.
so my whole thing is, I don't know what happens. So we got to invite him to tell his story
Can't
on
they
this.
call in? Because I
Yeah,
know
yeah, they could call in and stuff. So
let's try to call in. What do we have to
Yeah,
do?
we invite you to hit call in, cuz, so you can share this up. But from what I seen on the outside looking in
Brother, you
on it.
gotta give them direction. See, every that techie mind of yours, you be just assuming everybody got it. What do they need?
Nah, I mean, I think our producer was telling people like you check the damn, we ain't put it on the post. Like previously we put it out on the Facebook post. It was a link.
It was a
And
link.
yeah, it's like a link that whatever. But I guess if you get into the chat, we can post it out there like on the public chat. Because right now, our producer's hitting us on the studio chat, but we gotta hit it on the public chat so everybody else can see.
Oh, how do you do that?
I think like when you hit that chat joint, you'll see studio chat, and then there'll be a public chat tab in the top or
Ah,
yeah.
yeah, there's
And then
Meg. Meg is here.
what up, Megs? Salute to you. Hey, so basically, and I'm gonna just
Well,
share it from the
we have a
viewpoint that I.
we have a question though, and that if the
What's it?
folks can call in is like,
What's the question?
how do you get what is the disfellowshipping process?
So what I don't know this fellowshipping process, but I know the impact of what I see on it, which is that all the people that are Jehovah Witnesses are no longer able to interact with or associate, talk to, or deal with that person.
That's
And
the
and so basically they get what you call exile, right? You
which
know what
is
I
like
mean?
an exile. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I was exiled in our own family, so
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That caused the tit to tear. But
yeah.
so in this stuff though, it's like his parents are were Jehovah Witnesses, right?
Mhm.
And his brothers, his siblings or whatever, and our aunts and uncles and other cousins and stuff, and those people don't deal with them.
So when
So that's to
you
me
can't
that's hurtful. You know what I mean? Huh?
when you're disfellowship the people
They
in the
can't talk to you, can't deal with you, even in your own family, which to me is ridiculous. It's
so
totally ridiculous.
so what
That's
happened?
just like saying right now if my son got this fellowship from Jehovah Witness, I won't talk to him, I won't deal with him and stuff like that. I think that's totally ridiculous.
Right.
But
So
that's what's happened to our cousin. And
so do you see how that cannot be in alignment? That first of
I
all,
totally agree.
all that mean people shit
Hmm.
because mean people do stuff like that where I've broken from our faith group and now
Right.
I'm gonna let you be out there lost and in the wilderness.
Right.
And even if am related to you as a family member, which I should be showing you through love and a model of love, um, that
Yeah, just like the creator does for us, because I could tell you that even the most devout religious person probably sinning a million times a day, right? You know what I mean? So
they cut,
yes,
they
so
lie, they
yeah.
listen. I did this test recently. I
Hmm.
dropped $10, right?
Hmm.
Walking in the airport.
Hmm.
And but I dropped $10 as a few other things. And
Hmm.
I watched this with my own eyes. So I dropped my $10, I dropped my AirPods, and I dropped like other things that wasn't obviously a $10 value, right? But the
Hmm.
$10 bill was enticing.
Hmm.
What do you think I picked up first?
Your money.
The I didn't give a shit about the iPod. I didn't give the AirPods. I picked the money up because what people saw was that green fall out of my. Now, what should have happened? Because if that had happened around most people, they would have gave me my keys back, my phone, my earbuds. But that money was like, damn, I hope she walks away from that money and da 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 da. So, and I didn't because I was like, oh, I need my little $10. But I can tell you that you can see the eyes. People are like, should I dive on $10? So we all have this kind of urgency and this sense of truth about us where we are that little good person on your shoulder versus bad person. And what we're not doing in that scenario is saying, I'm never going to talk to you again. We forgive ourselves and give ourselves grace for so much stuff, but we don't do that for other people. And I strongly believe the church community should do that too.
I
When
totally agree. I totally agree. I think that the duty of any people who got any sort of like real belief is, if they're trying to model like I think everybody is trying to model the example of what God sets out or whatever God's, edicts and orders and all this stuff are, right?
Mhm.
But I think if people are doing that, then they got to do what God does for us, which is give us grace and mercy, right? Because I think, definitely for my own self, I could say, and in here of late, in the most recent of past, are you still with me?
I'm with you.
Okay, something just popped up on my damn screen. I don't know
Yeah,
what dragon. Okay.
that's our producer put a quote up and
Oh,
said,
okay, okay, okay.
he,
I
he's,
didn't know. I
he's flowing with you. He flowing with you. Keep flowing.
okay. I was about to say shit. What happened? Like God, God has intervened. We have seen a miracle. No, well, I was gonna say in the most recent past, right? Um, I was vexed off of a situation that I caused for myself that I know I did to myself, right?
Right, right.
And I couldn't. I really felt like I couldn't go to God to ask for a blessing, right? Like, help this not be so for me
Hmm.
because I had already did it before. You know what I mean? Feel me? Where I'm
Hmm.
like, don't let me get punished in this way. You know what I'm saying? And he let that pass over me, and then I did this shit again. You know
Right,
what I mean? And I
right.
felt like I couldn't go back and ask.
The shame, but you
Yeah,
so this is what religions do too. We shame
yeah,
each other. This fellowship is supposed to be creating shame.
yeah.
And
That and it does, and
from an
it's
emotional
impactful.
standpoint, shame
Hmm.
is one of the most unhelpful emotions. And emotions, from an adaptive perspective, help you navigate the world. That's
Hmm.
all they're there for. They're set up to
Hmm.
navigate the world. So if you have an emotion like shame that's not helping you get through the world, that's holding you back, isn't facilitating any cognitive
But
process.
I don't think that was really shame. What that was for me was more, just accountability, right? Because I
Do you
know,
get shameful, brother? Do you
no, that's not shame though.
be vulnerable?
I want to make sure that like
Be
it's
vulnerable
framed,
for the group
it's
chat.
framed, it's framed properly. Because it's just like saying, when
Well,
I get
label
on
the
a,
feeling though. Don't run from it. Then now you
no,
gotta
it ain't.
No, 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 no.
now label that
it,
feeling. Look, he's running. Look,
Nah, it's not shame though. It's
don't
just
let him
like
run. Don't let him run,
it's
center.
the same thing I do when I get on like an airplane or I get on a like a roller coaster, right? I'm like,
Please.
I'm asking, I'm asking for you to keep me safe, but I know that I don't deserve to ask it because I put myself on here. You know what I mean? But so that ain't shame. It's just like I know I can't.
So what you're
I should.
saying is, so you're saying
It's being humble. It's like
grace,
basically saying like I know I did this to myself, but I'm
grace,
still I'm still asking for even
your
though I don't deserve this or
grace
whatever.
and mercy. So you're asking
I'm
for grace.
yeah, I'm asking for favor. Please don't let this be my
So
outcome.
let me see. Well,
Right. You know what I
that's the
mean?
request part of you. I need to now dive into the feeling part of you. You have now discovered you are making choices and doing decisions. What is the feeling part of the behavior? There is a feeling that accompanies it. I don't know what.
I mean, all I can say is in those type of situations is fear for yourself, right? I mean, fear for yourself, like, oh God, I put myself in a really bad situation. All I'm just saying is, please help me. Even though I've done this a million times before, but keep helping me on this. Don't give up on me. Don't
You
give up on
you
me.
know
And
what
maybe this will be my last time. You know what I mean?
you know
Maybe
what
this will be my
you
last time,
know
but I
what you
can't
have to
promise
post for the group chat, and this is again a healing. This see, you don't even know you healing lives. Is that as smart as brother is, he's a slow learner.
it.
And let me tell you the profile of those slow learners. They're the ones that have to touch the stove more than once.
That's
I,
called hard headed.
I told you that. That's how your grandma said it. Your grandmother said, "Oh, him's hard headed." But I told you that stove is hot, and the way you think is you're like, but is it really hot? Is there degrees to hot? How
Mhm.
long can I stand hot? So that's what you tell about yourself, is that you are one of those slow learners. Takes you a long time. Now, let's point to a time where you have taught yourself to listen to the lesson that you already learned.
Well, I think first of all, I don't believe in like slow learners. I feel like the people who are the most hard headed, they kind of got strong wills. They tough, right? So
Okay, that's how, so we
that
can
that's good. Like those
yeah,
ones
well, you
that
can look at yourself. We reframe that.
yeah. So like those ones that can touch the stove a couple times, they building up a tolerance. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, we'll go with that so you can live with yourself. So
No, I mean, there's certain things that I definitely have turned from. You know what I mean? I know there's a biblical verse that says when you become a man, you put off those things of a child, so you don't be like a child anymore. So there's
mhm,
definitely some things I've turned from, so in lessons that have been learned hard. You know what I mean?
got it.
But there are some things that you find yourself repeating, what I mean? Especially if they got some pleasure principle associated with it, right? You know what I mean?
And
You be
that's
like
when church folks say, I told you that boy was no good. We told you that boy was no
But
good.
hey, I guarantee y'all women are the most guilty of it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
You
Y'all
ain't lying.
y'all get a little bit of a simple pleasure. And I keep hearing this recurring thing from women, which is the intoxicating attention and affection. You know what I'm saying?
it is a
And
thing.
then this has got me to do this. I went there because of the attention, the affection, and now you done did some things you ain't supposed to do. And then a dude to ask you, well, why? Why you do that? Because he's trying to find out. Did you get some conscience? Did you get a conscience in this? And then figure out like I shouldn't do this no more. But you know what the problem is when something is pleasurable? It's like it's wrong, but it feels so good. You can't you can't you can't
Well,
stop yourself. You know what I mean? You're like, you know
isn't
what?
this goes back to your sign of a man then.
Well,
Is your
yeah,
man
I think it's human. This is a human thing now. This ain't just a man. It's just like right now. I would tell you, don't take no more sugar for one day, just one whole day. Show me that you can do it. I think even a man, woman, a child, nobody can't do it because it's so enjoyable. You know what I mean? That even though like, damn, I maybe
let's
should not do this, you
let's say
still
this.
do it anyway.
Well, that's why sinning or doing things that aren't good for us, that you are always measuring risk. But what I
Hmm.
would say is we should be measuring risk for ourselves and be live in an environment and be in a community that is still accepting. And I think that's what church
Hmm.
at the end of the day, a community. We can't force people to do anything in the way that we want, which is what really religion and religiosity does. It said this is the order of things. And when you
Hmm.
fall out of that order of things, then you no longer can be amongst us. And
Hmm.
some of those order of things are supposed to be good, but you make a very good point that throughout this human experience, we're always giving our own self grace and mercy and praying for all the sins, the little sins, big sins, medium sins that we're doing. And when we then turn ourselves to judge others who are in this sinning mode, because we done all gave ourselves over to some sins or making decisions, as dear brother says, that we're not proud of, but is linked to that pleasure principle, which is a really underdeveloped thing. So you know how you be thinking you a savant? You ain't no savant. Savant control
Well,
themselves.
I'm a savant because I understand the reality of these things. But I'll tell you this though, that I feel like one property of being able to heal is like the the mercy and tenderness we give each other. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So let's just say if you know if I got punished from these actions I continue to do that I can't stop from, right? If I got punished and I got an affliction from it and
Mhm.
somebody would still accept me anyway
Mhm.
despite it, I feel like that gives me like the most fertile ground to heal. You know what I mean? Because like let's just say for instance, the way I could best describe it is, you know, if you disappoint someone, you know
Mhm,
what I mean?
mhm.
And inside of that deep disappointment, they still show you that they love you. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, let's just say, you know, Grandma Rose come down to the police precinct and get me out of jail.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing her. I'm like, I know. I'd rather stay here because she gonna get the, the stick off the tree and be. Yeah. So let me just stay here because
Right,
she being nice in front of y'all people. You
right,
know what I
you not
mean?
nice. Yeah.
Will
He was
she
like,
give me hope?
He gonna make you flip your own switch to be successful. Dude.
but
I
but the
think you
fact
bring up a
but the
reason.
fact but the fact that she actually came there to get me, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, boy, let's go. You know,
Mhm.
it's showing love, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna leave you here and
Well,
let
you get
this happen to you and stuff.
throwbacks for you, it's the same affection and what was that attention that you said the women are afflicted with?
Oh
Is
no, 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 it's different. It's different. It's different.
is
It's
how
totally
is
different.
how is it how is it
Huh?
different? I
It's
saw the
different.
love and faith.
I say this is significantly different as the difference between the way a man interacts with a woman versus the way a man interacts with a man, right? So
Oh my,
let me give you an example,
the show
right?
get me pumped.
Let me give you a perfect extreme example of this because I know you can relate to this now in your new role. So let's just say a guy
Mhm.
steps into an incarceration situation, jail, prison, penitentiary.
Yes.
All these people know that the guy is going to be there. That's already in the condition, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So an interesting thing happens. The people from where he's from, whatever group he belonged to, come and introduce themselves and embrace him,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So they would be like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Capone.
Mhm.
I'll Beef Storm or whatever. We
Mhm.
connect, and then we know we need shit, so they give you stuff: soap, toothpaste, this, that, headset. You know what I mean? Shower shoes. You get a little care package, get yourself going or whatever, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, take that same situation, and it's a woman gets dropped into that prison with God. Do you think the same thing happens?
There's
The same attention, affection happens with
still
them?
being
No,
not the same
no,
perhaps, but there
huh?
is it's not the same perhaps, but there
No,
is certainly
no. But
in
but the word attention is there because yeah, you a new person coming there, like dudes, they got attention on you to meet you, but it ain't the same type of attention that
it, do you
that the women is getting activated for. You know what I mean? Yeah,
women
it's not the same.
respond to attention from and the attention we give and nurturing we give each other could be improved. Well, brother, we our time in the Rose Garden is always too brief. But I think that the take home for me and hopefully the group chat is that you know that you need your own healing and you're a sufferer of your own doing. And so now that we know that you suffer of your own doing, we can forgive you and give you grace. So I hope that's but I hope you also offer that same grace to others who are committing the same sins.
Well,
You're
I ain't gonna give you no indictment. like you just gave me that indictment. But what I will say is that that go back to this ostracizing stuff that people do in disfellowship and others and all that. Like I think people really need to take a hard look at that.
I would
You know what I
agree.
mean? Yeah, because I feel like if
Brother, you
they
always gonna be on my fellowship. I ain't gonna put you up.
I don't
It's
know about that. I'm outside the Fokker circle when it comes to the nuclear family, what I'm saying? I know
that's
the
not
husband and the
true.
kids is above me. You
Oh
know what I mean?
Lord
I
have
already know that. I'm on the outside. Hey,
enough
if
of
there
that.
was a little piece of meat left on the bone and husband had to eat and kids have to eat, I know I'm going hungry. I need to go find my own my own little piece of meat somewhere else. I
Brother,
know this.
you are deeply loved because I be having to back them girls down. I said, now you can say certain things, but you're not gonna talk.
I don't think that's love because you cordoning me off from little simple pleasures. You know what I mean? You gotta find the good ones and let them on backstage. You know what I mean? Bring some of the good ones backstage. Not
Go hang up on that. The group chat is not gonna be. Listen, y'all ignore all of those final commentaries. We're not using the group chat as any home. He is not allowed to fish in that pond. I've already made it clear. Thank you, brother.
No, I'm talking about for my brethren. You know what I mean? I'm looking out for my homeboys. You see how benevolent I am.
Listen, if and they listen, Tony may be because I see Tony's gifts.
Don't get Tony in trouble. Don't get Tony in trouble.
Scripture, be vulnerable. You still a work in progress. You know, Tony know how to be vulnerable, and he don't listen. Every time after the show, Tony has his act right on. He's all left to you. So. In because of this new job, I'm always in meetings, so I have to leave quickly for another meeting. But
I have to say that Tony is spoken for before we cause any problems. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
problems.
Don't worry.
Nobody ain't caping for Tony because Tony already.
I'm not allowing anybody. Listen, your temple is guarded. There are guards at the gate. Okay, is guarded, and Tony has got his act right on. I'm trying to everybody know Tony's the better half of this situation, right? Like you need redemption. You know that song? You know Bob Marley redemption song? I sing it for you every day. And I get my knees dirty in prayer. Father, Mother Creator, keep him from himself.
I didn't say I would do anything. I just said let people come backstage. You know what I mean? We can mix them in. You know, we got little refreshments backstage. That's all. You know what
I mean? Well, folks, he still needs redemption, and I'm gonna be here working with him every week as much as I can. Save songs, save that channel. I want y'all to have an exceptionally good week and know that you are loved. Brother, any other final words?
No, we said it all. Much love to everyone.
Bye for now.
Well.
For joining.